So what's up guys, I'm Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another video on the channel where today we are back with a Q&A, the series where I take your questions from the comment section below to do the zombie storyline, Easter eggs, and I answer them. As always, if there's anything you want to know, leave your questions in the comment section below and I can hopefully answer them in a future video. So the first question of today, which I saw in my entire Citadelle Day More storyline video, just in case you don't understand the story, it's about 50 minutes long, so definitely go ahead and check that out for yourself. But this person commented, 4 sons whose names we don't know, each having a weapon of specific elemental power, and they have ties to the Templar. Is anyone else getting Origins vibes like this? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the 4 sons turned out to be people we know or who have time traveled or something. So basically what this person is getting at is the 4 bastard sons of the Templar Knight Sugui de Saint Michel that we see in Citadelle Day More. Because each of them has their own elemental sword, there is the lion, the raven, the dragon, and the stag. That in itself is very reminiscent to the Great War versions of Richtof and Takeo Nikolai and Dempsey, how each of them not only had their own elemental staffs, but the time when they were alive during the Great War in the 1300s is extremely close to the time when Sugui de Saint Michel was alive, along with his 4 sons. And the other comment I've been seeing is, well, actually, considering we don't know the names of these 4 knights, their background is mysterious, we don't really know much about them, besides from them being enforcers for Guy, but the link that people have been making is, well, could these 4 knights be the Great War versions of Takeo Nikolai, Dempsey and Richtofen in this universe? So the first thing we've got to figure out, is that even possible? In Liberty Falls in the cemetery, you can find 3 gravestones with the surnames of characters we are very familiar with. There is this one with the name Ruth Dempsey, Dempsey of course being the surname of Tank Dempsey, so it wouldn't be far-fetched at all to assume this person in one way, shape or form was related to Tank Dempsey, perhaps his sister. There is another gravestone with the name Jack Brighton on it, Brighton being the surname of Misty, although this person died in 1967, which means they would have been born way before Misty existed, ruling out the possibility of this being her father, but that doesn't rule out it being a distant relative. This person coincidentally, or perhaps not, shares the same surname as Misty. And then we come up to this gravestone, which has the name Josiah Brown, Brown being the surname of the creator of the Pack-a-Punch, Jebediah Brown. So again, you wouldn't be wrong in assuming this person was a relative of his. We have 3 gravestones in Liberty Falls with surnames on them that we are familiar with. So that tells us that the relatives of people that we knew in the old multiverse existed in this one. That doesn't mean all of the old characters from that multiverse existed here as well. For example, if the Dempsey family lived or still lives in this universe, it could be that Tank Dempsey himself was just never born in this universe, but the rest of his relatives were. Getting back to this question then, because a lot of people are speculating that these 4 mysterious knights, the sons of Sugui de Saint Michel, could potentially be the Great War versions of Primis in this universe. Looking at their statues in Citadel, we have the Dragon Knight, the Lion Knight, the Raven Knight, and the Stag Knight. And well, this is what Craft tells us about them.
Sugui de Saint Michel, known to most as the Owl, the man who may have single-handedly destroyed the legendary Knights Templar. Guy was the leading expert of his day in all matters occult. His prowess in the dark arts won him his Nightbird sobriquet. That reputation made it easy to accuse the Templars of heresy, and while their leadership was burned at the stake, the Owl escaped to Avalon. But he would have never succeeded without his bastards. 4 sons who stopped at nothing to win his favor. Their true names are lost to history, but their noms de guerre still inspire fear and hatred. The Stag was his shock trooper, striking like lightning when least expected. The Dragon's scorched earth tactics betrayed his reptilian lack of mercy. The Lion was the brightest of the 4, always keen to please his master. And the Raven, like his father, was a creature of the shadows. And although they served him faithfully, the Owl would never acknowledge their birthright, much less knight them. Nor would he give them what they desired most: love, respect, recognition. They were useful as thugs, enforcers. Sadly, all relationships, even those built on love, respect, and recognition, will break in time. But the bastard's reign of terror in what would become Avalon echoed through the ages, giving rise to the French Syndicate.
These 4 were the illegitimate sons of Sugui de Saint Michel. All they ever wanted was their father's love. They would stop at nothing to win his favour. They would do his bidding, so much to the point where, as Kraft says,
Saint-Michel's sons. Uniquely brutal individuals.
Each of them were very brutal, but something that I do find suspicious is we only know their, I guess, nicknames, as their real names were lost to history. They are known as the Stag, the Dragon, the Lion, and the Raven, but as to what they were actually called, we don't know. Now, just going along with these conspiracies for a second, if their real names were Richtofen, Takeo, Nikolai, and Dempsey, well, there's a lot here that doesn't match up with those characters' character. For example, Kraft describing these knights as being brutal individuals. That's not what the Great War versions of Richtofen, Takeo, Nikolai, and Dempsey were. Sir Guy being their father would suggest if these sons were Richtofen, Takeo, Nikolai, and Dempsey, they would be related, which doesn't line up. But at the same time, you could say, well, in this universe, the fates and destinies of Great War Richtofen, Takeo, Nikolai, and Dempsey was different. In this universe, they were brothers, and in this universe, they were pretty evil. I mean, as far as I can see, this theory has come about from 3 different things. We don't know their names. They existed during a similar time to Great War Richtofen, Takeo, Nikolai, and Dempsey, and each of them relates to an elemental wonder weapon, in this case, swords, whereas Richtofen, Takeo, Nikolai, and Dempsey each had their own elemental staff. In the Revelations ending cutscene when they're standing on the mound, you see Takeo holding the ice staff, Nikolai holding the fire staff, Dempsey holding the lightning staff, and Richtofen holding the wind. To be honest, I can't see it, however. Their story, along with the owls, is not finished yet, and their names being lost throughout history, throughout not telling it to us, is always a sign and is going to leave us wondering, well, why? There must be a reason why Treyarch have decided not to give them names. Is it because we know them? The next question from Hunter Davidson V7F says, why are the Gobblegums back, and does it have anything to do with Dr. Monty? Please give me your theory on this. I've been asking this question for a couple of weeks now. So just giving you my theory on the return of the Gobblegums in Black Ops 6. No, it has nothing to do with Dr. Monty and everything to do with the new name of the machine, Mr. Peaks. The Gobblegum machine was originally invented by Dr. Monty, but at the end of Black Ops 4, everything was banished to the Dark Ether, including Dr. Monty and his Gobblegum machines. And now those Gobblegum machines have escaped the Dark Ether with a whole new rebrand. So it looks like what's happened here is these machines were originally made by Monty, sent to the Dark Ether. Someone or something inside of the Dark Ether has then manipulated these machines and rebranded them, I guess, to Mr. Peaks Gobblegum. And they or someone else is now giving us those machines, teleporting them from the Dark Ether to our maps. But if the new name of the Gobblegum is Mr. Peaks, who is a teddy bear, or more specifically bunny rabbit, a stuffed animal, how has this managed to recreate the Gobblegum machine and name it after himself? Who is Mr. Peaks should be the real question, because this is his Gobblegum machine, but Mr. Peaks is just a teddy. Or is it? In Cold War, there was a document that you could find. It had Mr. Peaks drawn in the middle, and then around him, loads of different sentences. Someone's wrote in here, "This is my best friend, Mr. Peaks. Mr. Peaks always tells the truth. Mr. Peaks is always watching. Mr. Peaks lies in my hat," I think that says. Thank you, Mr. Peaks. You keep me safe in this dark place. It sounds like this note was written by a child trapped within the Dark Ether, who came across Mr. Peaks, who then kept him or her safe. Besides from that, Mr. Peaks is in all of our zombies maps, whether it be in the mystery box or you can find remnants of him around. He's a part of loads of side Easter eggs, and in some of these, you can clearly see that Mr. Peaks is not a normal teddy. He is alive, or at the very least, possessed. This bunny rabbit moves on its own. There are a couple of theories surrounding him. One of those is that he contains the soul of another child that was banished to the Dark Ether, that perhaps died here, and their soul became intertwined with this teddy, and ever since then, he's been protecting other children that were trapped here. The other theory is that Mr. Peaks contains the soul of Richtofen's child, Samuel. Either way, we've got a bit of a Toy Story situation going on here where Mr. Peaks is alive. And so seeing a Gobblegum machine branded after him all of a sudden doesn't sound too weird. This bunny rabbit has something to do with it. Did he make it or have a hand in making it? Is he the one that's providing it to us? We don't know, but what I can say is it doesn't have anything to do with Dr. Monty anymore. So there we go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you've enjoyed the video today. If you have, drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel. Thank you all for watching. Leave any other questions you have in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.